Hey guys, this is Kevin from jazztime.com. Jazztime.com is an online store that buys, sells, trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so our customers can easily choose the best watch for themselves in the comfort of their own home. We offer the lowest prices anywhere online, and if you want to know the price of the watch, simply click on the links in the description below. We would greatly appreciate it if you would buy a watch from jazztime.com once in a while. So today we're doing a comparison between two Rolex watches. Here on my left, the newly released Rolex GMT-Master 2, nicknamed the Pepsi. This is the model number 126710. And on my right here, this is the Rolex GMT-Master 2, nicknamed the Batman. This one was, I believe, recently released back in 2014, but is now discontinued as the newer version is available as well. I'll talk more a little bit about that later. We'll be covering the dial, bezel, case, crown, bracelet, clasp, and we'll talk about the movement towards the end of the video. Okay, so one thing that I already noticed is that they pretty much have the similar style dial structure, which is the maxi dial, which are the circular hour markers with indices at the 6, 9, and 12 o'clock position. And they're fashioned 18 karat white gold to prevent any tarnishing. Same can be said about the Mercedes hand and the minute hand as well. And they both use a highly legible chroma light display with long-lasting blue luminescence, so both have legibility during the night and daytime. With a blue luminescence, so blue glows in the dark with a blue coloring. The date windows at the 3 o'clock position with a Cyclops lens on top of the sapphire crystal for magnification, easier viewing of that date. But the small differences here are really just two differences. Mainly the additional GMT hand is noted in blue for the Batman, and it's noted in red for the Pepsi. The tip, however, is still fashioned 18 karat white gold and luminous filled as well. And additionally, at the 6 o'clock position is just a very minor text change. You can see the Swiss made has the crown logo on the Pepsi here, and on the Batman is just the Swiss made together. And that's just an indication that the movement has been updated to a newer style movement as well, which we'll talk about later in the video. But besides that, pretty much the text is at the same as at the 12 o'clock position. Rolex with the crown logo above it, and Oyster professional date name underneath that, and the GMT Master 2 name relatively unchanged as well, with the superlative chronometer officially certified text underneath that. The next, as we move on, the difference is obviously in the bezels. As you can see, the bezels is what gives it its nickname. So the Pepsi for the watch here on my left, and the Batman for the one on my right. Pepsi, of course, as it's Pepsi Cola's colors, with the nice blue on top and the red underneath as well. And then for the Batman, we have the nice black on top with the blue under. And of course, that's nicely halved at the 6 to the 18. As you can see, both are halved at the 6 to the 18. That also helps indicate day and night cycles. So daytime from the 6 to the 18, and the 18 to the 6 is the night cycle. So that's used when you're using the additional GMT functions, just to sort of make sure that the time zone that you're checking is day or night. But besides that, both of them do run both of these are ceramic bezels, so nicely resistant against scratches, but very beautifully high polished. As you can see, very nice and shiny. The numerals both have the same style numerals of the Arabic, from the even numerals to all the way to the 22, with odd numerals being indicated by the circular dot in between each even numeral. The 12 o'clock position has a triangular marker to help with the ease of setting the bezel for the third additional time zone. But specifically, the numerals themselves are both on both watches platinum dusted so how that works is that they actually coat the whole bezel in the platinum, and then they polish it off so that the numerals only keep that platinum, and it makes it highly legible and easier to read against the background of its colors, so the black and blue and the blue and red. The Pepsi, however, is a throwback to a previous model. This is a sort of originated from the 1955s that had the sort of red blue bezel, of course not in a ceramic. The Batman is more of a modern thing. I believe was the only one of its kind to have this sort of coloration in 2014. So you can think of the Pepsi as a remake from a vintage model, whereas the blue black Batman sort of is more of an original design and idea, even though it's just a simple coloration on the bezel. Both of these watches do have the super casing, which is a modern style Rolex casing, which has a little bit thicker, a little larger, a little thicker case sizing. The overall diameter of the case, however, is still going to be the same. It's going to be 40 millimeters for both. So from my index finger to my thumb here, that's 40 millimeters in diameter, and that's for both watches, 40 millimeters in diameter. Now let me show you the side profile of both of these watches. So let me shift this over here. They were pretty much the same, as they both run a GMT style movement. You can see a nice high polish from the side of the case down to the sides of the bracelet. Onto the other side as well, we have that same high polish. Same high polish with the Rolex crown logo located on the crown itself, with 3 dots underneath that, and that's the trip lock. That's indicating that these watches both have the trip lock triple waterproofness system. So not much change there. Both have a water resistance of 100 meters or 330 feet. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the case. I mean, the polishing is the same as well. We have nice satin finish on both case lugs, and only high polish continuing onto the bracelet from the center. For the crown, they both have the same functions. I'll actually just show you it on one of these watches so you can get a general idea of it. If you're more looking for more in-depth, you can watch their own standalone video. But simply, the crown unwinds counterclockwise as shown into the center position, which you can wind the watch. About 15 to 20 winds is all you need to get the watch started once more. Pulling the crown out to the next position will allow you to use the quick hour jump system that helps set the additional times, that helps with the setting of additional time zone, the GMT function. And pulling the crown out to the next position will allow you to adjust the hands bidirectionally while stopping the second hand for precise time setting, and also being able to adjust that extra additional GMT hand. So we're not going to go over exactly how to use the GMT functions. We do have standalone videos for that you can watch on our YouTube channel. We're just going to go ahead and move on to the bracelet now. The bracelet is one of the main updates on the GMT. As I did mention, the Batman here on my right has been discontinued in favor of a newer style, and the newer style does have the same Jubilee bracelet as the Pepsi I have here in my hand here. So the previous model of the Pepsi, the one from 1955, did have the Jubilee style bracelet, so we're seeing a reemergence of the Jubilee style bracelet on sports pieces, which is interesting enough, as most sports pieces just had the Oyster bracelet. So now we have a new choice. Not necessarily a choice though, because the newer style GMT-Masters only come on the Jubilee style bracelet now. They don't come on the Oyster anymore. So with the difference between the two, of course, 5-piece style links versus a 3-piece style link. Satin finish on the outer edges, nicely high polished down the center, and tapered very nicely for a good proportional view from directly on. And of course, just the difference really is within the links themselves. As you can see, as I shifted throughout, pretty much match very similarly throughout. It's just the matter of preference for the style of bracelet. Even down to the clasp. One thing to note is that even on the previous Jubilee bracelets, not even on sports pieces, just talking like a Datejust watch, the Jubilee used to go throughout and have the Rolex crown logo there to indicate the concealed folding crown clasp. But now we have this Oyster style clasp with the Jubilee bracelet, sort of like fusion of the two. It still looks very nice, and it still keeps that continuous pattern of the high polish downwards straight through the clasp, and with the satin finish as well. Both of these have the same style clasp structure, which is just the safety folding Oyster lock, which I'll open up as so. Let's see it. So this is the safety lock, or the sort of like a hinge that sits on top of the folding Oyster that opens up to reveal these nicely high polished clasp blades with the Rolex name embossed on there. The clasp blades themselves are curved very nicely to fit very comfortably on the wrist. And on the clasp itself, underneath, you'll be able to adjust the clasp for a few millimeters of adjustment, referred to as the Easy Link. So let's say on a hot summer day, your wrist swells up, you need a little more breathing room in your wrist, you can adjust the 5 millimeters forward, or vice versa for colder days, as you can set it backwards. But pretty much the clasps together are pretty much the same thing. So we'll go ahead and close that up. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to the movements. I'm gonna do this one by one here. So For the Pepsi, it runs a newer style movement from Rolex. It's the in-house made by Rolex 3285 GMT movement. Keeps the precise time setting of -2 plus 2 seconds a day, and as I mentioned before, they boast about it at the 6 o'clock position with the superlative chronometer officially certified text there. The updates to the movement include the Chrono-G escape, specifically include the Chrono-G escapement and the Paraflex shock absorbers, which Rolex claims absorbs 50% more shocks than industry standard shock absorbers, which the previous model runs were the KIF shock absorbers. And a Chrono-G escapement is a skeletonized escapement wheel made out of a nickel phosphorus, meaning that it helps with energy efficiency by reducing the inertia of the escapement due to the skeletonization, and the nickel phosphorus helps with in conjunction with the blue parachrome hairspring to add additional resistance against magnetism. And that power reserve is updated from the 48-hour power reserve to a 70-hour power reserve now, meaning you can put this watch down on a Friday evening, pick it back up on a Monday afternoon, and be keeping time just fine. Now, for the BLNR, the movement on the BLNR is the older style movement. So 3285 is a newer style for the Pepsi. BLNR runs the 3186 movement, which is the previous movement before it was updated to 3285. So that movement still keeps the same functions of being able to quickly jump the hour hand, have the additional hour tracking of the hour hand on the dial, the GMT hand, and changing the date from the revolutions of the jumping of the hour hand. Still keeps that same time specs of the -2 plus 2 seconds a day. So the only thing it doesn't have is the new updates. So as I mentioned, the Chrono-G escapement and the Paraflex shock absorbers. So the 3186 does run the KIF shock absorbers, and additionally does not have the Chrono-G escapement wheel. And as I mentioned before, the power reserve was a 48-hour power reserve for the 3186, and the newer style does have a 70-hour power reserve now. The only thing it does keep in common is the paramagnetic blue parachrome hairspring, which helps with the resistance against magnetism. All right, let me go ahead and show you these watches on my wrist. So we'll start off with the Pepsi first. So locate that safety folding Oyster, open that up, and we're gonna go ahead and close that up, and there we are. So you can see very beautiful standard Rolex sports style, but the Pepsi bezel being very, very unique, as you can see, with the nice blue overtone with undertone with the red. The Jubilee bracelet, absolutely very unique on the GMT, as well as you won't find a modern Rolex with a Jubilee bracelet. As I mentioned, this was a throwback to the 1955 version of the GMT-Master 2 that did have the blue-red bezel with the Jubilee style bracelet, and it looks absolutely gorgeous in this new remake of it. And then let me go ahead and open up the BLNR now. BLNR looks very great in the standard Rolex sports bracelet, which is the Oyster style bracelet. Nicely high polished down the center with sand finish on the outer edges of it. You can see the bezel, the blue black bezel, is very, very unique to this watch. You can't get this on the Oyster bracelet anymore, as it has been discontinued. There might be a few out there you can get it used. Perhaps check our website jazz.com, because we do get in a few of these pieces used from time to time. But the newer style will have the Jubilee style bracelet, so you can imagine the bezel and dial from this watch just with the Jubilee style bracelet now. But even then, this watch is still very unique with that blue black bezel, that blue GMT hand nicely contrasted from the black, and just that standard Oyster style bracelet looks very beautiful. So if you're interested in any of these watches for the lowest possible price, check out our website at jazz.com, where the lowest price is guaranteed. We offer a 1-year warranty, and if you like the video, please like, comment, subscribe below. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys soon.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jazztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in JazzTime, plus the brand, model and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.